Decepticons, Optimus Prime is the ultimate Autobot hero. More than meets the eye, he's a robot in disguise. Going ballistic to destroy the Autobots and conquer mankind, Ramjet is an evil Decepticon. He's more than meets the eye. Heroic Autobots versus evil Decepticons with the fate of planet Earth hanging in the balance. Transformers Generation 2, Autobot cars and Decepticon jets each sold separately.
Hello everybody, Future Voice Actor here again. This video has been a long time waiting. I'm going to review not only one of my all-time favorite figures, Sideswipe, but I'm also going to talk about the other figures that were played by Michael Bell. Prowl right here, we've got Swoop right here. Also, I'm going to try to show you some of my other Generation 2 figures. I have something special that I wanted to share also. It's Matrix Workshop number 40. And the reason why? Well, I'll let you be the judge. You look at this, and look at the picture behind Sideswipe. Yeah. I'm a firm believer in authenticity. So, without further ado, let's get on with today's Blue Cliff review.
We should scan for Decepticreep activity. That plasma core eject button wasn't targeted. Megatron's gonna need someone to go pick it up.
Split up!
So one of the first things I wanted to point out about this Sideswipe figure is he's decked out with Toy Hacks decals. Not just in the Generation 2 ones, but also this. If I zoom up close here. Oh. Bingo. Now what I love about this Sideswipe is it's a nod to Generation 2, obviously. The decals are done in a Ben-Day dot style, reminiscent of comic books, and in the 90s they were still doing it. So that was a nod to that. Even though he doesn't have spoilers, he does have this. I would get the spoilers for this, but it's a Cybertronian vehicle, and if I had to get it for him, I'd have to get it for Deep Cover, which I plan to get. So without further ado, let's get him transformed with the music of Jeff Beck. And there we go. We have Sideswipe Generation 2 in robot mode. Now, one at a time, we'll take a look at his weapons. First of all, we've got Trenchfoot. This came with the reinforcements from Cybertron's set for Siege. And like with Sideswipe, I gave him the Ben-Day dots that came with the decals from Toy Hacks. And I am crazy about this particular mold with the Autobot colors that he has. I mean, talk about Laurel and Hardy. You got Sideswipe and Trenchfoot. Now to get him back into his gun mode. Also, this mold is a lot better than the Fire Drive one. The one where this part is always loose. I can't stand that. Here we have Sideswipe with his Nebulon partner, Trenchfoot. And taking a closer look, he's got that beautiful red and sculpt head, reminiscent of Red Alert's, except he's got the horns, which is why I don't miss my Red Alert figure. From back here, he's got this really awesome translucent red on a silver plastic right here. And this part right here breaks it up, but even if I hadn't, it still would have looked awesome. So now let's get to his other accoutrement. These. His spiked wheels. Now let's take a closer look at how he looks in the comic. Yeah, right there you see on his shoulders the wheels, just like with the Masterpiece. But I didn't really like the scowl that figure had. I prefer Sideswipe when he's his sweet self.
Say uncle or I'll shove your nose in your afterburner! Uncle! Gee, I didn't know Decepticons had uncles.
First of all, on the bottoms here, you got these clips right here. They'll just clip into place right here on his shoulder. And these things feel very sharp, so whoever does the Matrix Lab, they really know what they're doing. Let's zoom this up just a little more. And that in itself is most iconic, but let's take a look at his other weapons. You've got his engine blaster right here. And it's got a peg, 5mm, that can also become a thing to clip into his side, here like this. Me, I'm more of a traditionalist, so without breaking this, take that off, put this back on here. See, I love the detailing right here. It looks like an engine block, and it's got the pipes for the fuel, and that is just badass right there. Putting trench foot to the side here, we'll just tuck him away like that, make him a rocket pack. Let's take a look at his other weapon. This one is more basic, but put him on here like this. And you've got a pretty badass sideswipe. But, of course, I'm missing something major. His utility belt. With all his extra armaments and compartments on a nice nylon strap. This on top of him like this. And we're getting closer to how he looks on there. So what's left over is you got this really awesome blaster weapon right here. Has the same feature right here. And I'm going to have to dismiss trench foot. Maybe put him on sideswipe's foot, like that. Put this on the back here, like this. And we're that much closer to looking like in the comic book. There's two pieces that are left. The sword. And this sort of trailer hitch. Now, for those of you who are watching this and have gotten this kit before, if you could tell me the proper way to use it, because it didn't come with any instructions. I can only guess as to what it's for, probably when he's in vehicle mode. So, let's put it like this. For his shins, he's got 2 grenades and more bullet emplacements. Put it right there. And you've got the Simon Furman version of Sideswipe. Oh, man, that is just sweet. Let's turn to the next page here. The boy loves his work, though I think he went a little overboard. Some people think Transformers Generation 2 was a failed experiment. But it lasted 12 issues, which is more than a lot of others could. Yes, I have 2 copies of these. One, the gatefold cover, like so. That's the inside of the gatefold cover right there. And that is really awesome looking. And what kind of Transformers fan would I be if I hadn't tried to get Peter Cullen's autograph? Luckily, I had the spare comic. And it is one of my all-time favorites. So we've got our heavily armored Sideswipe right here. For voicial comparison, we've got his fellow Autobot, Prowl. I've shown you before the damage decals here that I gave him, along with the toy hacks. Although I'm seriously considering getting rid of this part, because I do like the Cybertronian letters on here. Again, let's listen to Jeff Beck as Jeff the voice actor tries to get his robot transformed. Two of Michael Bell's voices right there in front of you. For size comparison, we have fellow Generation 2er, Jazz. I'm a sucker for Generation 2. And in vehicle mode, we've got the Generation 2 Inferno.
Battle the heroic Autobots. Inferno, Jazz, and Sideswipe. There.
How do we know it is? That's easy. Because of that. God, I love that Autobot logo. And we've also got Optimus Prime. Hey, wait, what's going on? Grimlock, what are you doing here?
Me, Grimlock, waiting for Greg Berger to get back to future voice actor for interview.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that you can do it in another way and not bogart my time.
Me, Grimlock, sorry.
Yeah, sure you are. Well, give me 1 second.
Me, Grimlock, love chicken. Deep fried.
Okay, we've heard enough out of you. We'll do the Greg Burger segment another time. Here we've got Optimus, and I gave him Generation 2 labels as well. I got the Laser Prime decals by mistake in the mail, and I decided, hey, maybe no one's ever tried this before, making the most out of it. Besides, the other ones didn't have the matrix of leadership. And for a smaller comparison, we've got Generation 2 Brawl. Yeah, I know. You're thinking, this guy's got a few circuits loose. And, well, you know, stuff happens. But, you know, I was 4 years old in 1990. You can guess how old I am. And just because I'm a sucker for it, another character that Michael Bell could have potentially played, Terra Drive. I'm going to go into detail about him when I interview Andrew Wildman. Yes, that's right. Keep an eye out for that in February. The awesome artist agreed to an interview with yours truly, and I'm really excited about it. And if you want to watch the Michael Bell interview, I'm putting the link at the end and also right here on the top of your screen. So if you haven't seen it, it should be up by now. And I'm a sucker for light piping. And that's the end of my random tangent. Who are we missing? We are missing Swoop. Not for long.
Me, Swoop. Now listen to Optimus Prime. Grimlock, our leader.
Well, yeah, but you weren't here a few minutes ago when he actually was your leader. Alright, I guess I better transform him too. I hope you like Jeff Beck as much as I do. And there we have Swoop. Wow, we've got a lot of characters here. I guess it's time for a cross dissolve. I'm doing kind of a purge of my Power of the Primes figures. So on the Blue Cliff scale, since he is Swoop, I'm going to give him a 7.5. With all my Gestalts gone except for one, this is sort of unnecessary. And now Prowl, he's very well done, and I love the face sculpt. It's a lot better than the Earthrise, I'm going to be honest with you right there. The same head sculpt when it was used on Blue Streak for the 35th anniversary from Walmart. It wasn't as good, so I'm glad that I have the Earthrise figure of that. But this guy, he's got everything going on here. He's got a very sleek vehicle mode. He's got an awesome robot mode. And I don't believe that he's the prick that everyone on Transformers Wiki believes. That's just him in the other non-Generation 1 cartoons. Prowl would get an 8.9, mainly because he has not as much accoutrement as my favorite figure right here. Sideswipe, the man of the hour. Bot of the hour, I should say. He was already awesome before the Toy Hacks. And having the rub symbol here and the third-party booster set and Trenchfoot, this is going to be the first time I ever give a bot a perfect 10. And that's what I'm going to do. He's just that awesome. Especially to a Generation 2 fan like me. This guy, he's got loose joints. His Michael Bell voice was the same one as Duke and Prowl.
24 hours and zip from roadblocking his unit. They're smart and tough. No reason to write them off yet.
Agreed, but who's going to take their place if Cobra hits us now? We've got the BET and Serpentor, General Hawk. The Fang Gang's bound to take a whack at him.
For that reason, I'm going to give this a 9.9 just because of Michael Bell's voice. And here we have Brainstorm. Now I plan to get the Walmart re-release so that I can use that other body for my Titans Return head-to-head challenge. Looks exactly like he does in the IDW comics. Damn it, Rotters! He's got a very nice transformation. and a mold that he shares with Wavemate RC, voiced by Susan Blue. And so, from left to right, we've got Swoop, Prowl, Sideswipe, Brainstorm, and this little guy down here, Gort, and from the Rebirth. They're known as the head of his friendly nemesis, Highbrow.
What's happening?
I got stuck with you?
Well, I'm not too thrilled about the accommodations either.
In my interview, Michael Bell talks about some of the roles that he's played. In G.I. Joe, he was Duke, and he was also Lift Ticket and one of the Crimson Guard brothers. In direct parallel to Sideswipe, his brother was also played by Corey Burton, who was also known as Spike Witwicky and Shockwave in Transformers. Bell was also the voice director for Fox's Peter Pan and the Pirates, and he was Quackerjack in Darkwing Duck, one of his all-time best.
Quackerjack, you insane genius! You created the perfect doll!
To make little girls scream. In delight, of course.
We've got some different figures here from different sets. We've got Power of the Primes, we've got Siege, and we've got Titan's Return. For the Titan's Return Brainstorm, on the Blue Cliff scale, I'd give him a 9.5. Since he was one of my favorites in the Rebirth and also in the Headmasters. And that'll do it for today's episode of Blue Cliff Reviews. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos on this channel and be sure to like and subscribe for further content. Be sure to keep an eye out for my interview with Transformers colorist John Paul Beauvais and my upcoming interview with Andrew Wildman. Thank you and stay safe.